What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Knockout TCG. My name's Keon. Yesterday, I went to the Catskills Regionals up in upstate New York. It was 9 rounds of Swiss. I ended up with an X2 record and came in 18th place. I feel like I could have done better, but luck wasn't fully on my side, and had a few bad hands. But overall, I had a good experience. The event did end a little bit later than I wanted to. I got back home like 1 in the morning, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna beat around the bush too much. Let's just jump right into the deck profile. First up, have the one lady debug. It's that one. You run it, you sack it, you don't see it, it is what it is. Next up, we have 3 copies of Salamangreat Gazelle, the heart and soul of the deck. Next up, we have 3 Foxy. With debug at 1, you don't have too many normal summons, so it doesn't conflict as much, so running 3 is fine. We have 2 Spinny. You don't really need the third. Next up, we have 1 Fowl, 1 Jack Jaguar, and 1 Falco. Now, as far as Fowl is concerned, while standalone is not the best Salamangreat, it has its instances where it's very useful. Helping chain block for Gazelle, helping you get your turn 1 board off where you have your trap card and you have Abyss Dweller as well. So I ran to 1. It performed fine. His effect to stun a back row actually came in handy a few times, so I still run to 1. That's all the Salamangreat cards we play. Next up is just hand traps. Play 3 Effect Veiler, 3 Ghost Ogre, 3 Ash Blossom, as well as 3 copies of Phantasme. I did brick a few games where I opened up too many hand traps, so I might want to, think about cutting down, maybe putting Ash and Ghost Ogre to 2, because those are the both once per turn ones. Phantasme, I literally only seen the card one time all tournament, but Phantasme does what it's supposed to when you see it. That's all for the monsters. Next up, we have the spells. We have the 1 brick, the Sanctuary, Triple Circle, and I opted to play 2 copies of Cyanide Mining. These basically replace the Lady Debug that you would have. I would honestly prefer Debug because if you get hand trapped on it, it's not a neg 1. That is unfortunately how I ended up losing my very first round of the tournament. Cyanide Mining got Ash and I had no follow-up play. But the card does what it's supposed to, and it has neat interaction with Gazelle where if you discard a Salamangreat card monster off of it, if you add the Gazelle, you can special summon it and continue your play from there. Next up, we have 3 copies of Twin Twister, as well as 3 copies of Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave is good for not only allowing you to play through hand traps going turn 1 to get your board online, also, in certain matchups, you can banish key cards that they have and make it, stifle your opponent that way. And we have 5. I played 5 trap cards, the 1 Roar, 1 Rage, and I played 3 copies of Solemn Strike. Solemn Strike was phenomenal all weekend. Whenever I saw the card, it was good. If I needed to, even if I drew the card going second, I set it, and then when I want to make my play the turn after, I can bait out my opponent's monster negations and attempt to play back from there. That's it for the main deck. It was 41 cards. I have been thinking about trying to cut 1 card to make it 40, but I just didn't know what to cut. Next up, we have the extra deck. I played 3 copies of Balinx, 3 copies of Sunlight Wolf, 2 copies of Heat Leo, and 1 Mirage Stalio. That's all. I also played the Fusion, although I'm thinking about cutting it. It did win me 1 round, but I've been more and more feeling like the Fusion is honestly not needed. We also played 1 Phoenix, get rid of Problem Back Row, 1 Hida. Hida, I could bump up to 2. Hida was amazing all day. 1 Borreload, 1 Tornado Dragon for back row decks, and 1 Abyss Dweller. Orcus, Thunder Dragon, Abyss Dweller is just very good. Last up, we have the side deck. I sided 3 copies of Artifact Lancia, Thunder Dragon matchup, Orcus matchup. Those go in. You see them, your opponent can't, make the Orcus can't play for pretty much at all, and Thunder Dragon, they can't get their full board out. After that, we played 3 copies of Pankratops, Pancratop's winning versus almost anything if I win second. We have 2 Super Polymerization and 1 Fusion of Fire. This winning versus the Mirror Match. And it also winning against Thunder Dragon and Orcust. And Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, that's the Super Poly target versus Thunder Dragon and Orcust. The card performed phenomenally every time, I went second. I sided it in. If I saw it, I was able to break the board and, make plays after that. Then I sided 2 MSTs, 2 Unending Nightmare, and 1 Imperial Order. MST and Unending Nightmare was for backboard decks and Floodgates, and Imperial Order was mainly in there for Striker if I played against it. I put these cards in because I was, fairing playing against Mystic Mind. I did not want to take a loss because my opponent activated 1 card and just sat on it all game. I didn't play against any Mystic Mind, but the cards did go against an Altergeist player that I played against, and it performed exactly the way I needed to. I saw the card and it did what it was supposed to. As for my matchups, round 1, I played against Cyber Dragon. I went first, won the die roll. My hand was subpar. I activated Sign and Mining, tried to make a play. He ashed it. I had no follow-up. He made his board infinity and everything, and I couldn't come back from there. Game 2, I went first again, made my board, won the game. Game 3, I bricked again and couldn't do anything. Round 2, I played against Invoke Sky Striker. He won the die roll, and he tried to make a board, but didn't really have anything. Then I won that game. Game 2, he made me go first, even though I decided to go second, so that kind of messed me up a little bit. And he won that game, and I won again Game 3. Round 3, I played against Dino Orcust. It was easy 2-0. I won a die roll, had hand traps and back row, so he couldn't really do anything. Round 4, I played against Thunder Dragon. I played against Jesse Cotton, very good opponent. Game 1, I went first and set up board and had hand traps, but he was able to play through the hand traps and still make his Thunder Dragon board. Game 2, I made my board, and then when it came back from his turn, he couldn't do anything. He passed back to me and I OTK'd him. Then Game 3, he kind of bricked, but he tried to activate Allure of Darkness, and he ended up discarding his entire hand because he saw no darks, even though his deck is mostly darks. And he activated the second one, and he didn't see anything to help him make a play, and I was able to take the game from there. Round 5, I played a Salamangreat mirror match. It was a very grindy back and forth game, but Game 3, I was able to get Dweller and everything on board and take it from there. Round 6, I played another Thunder Dragon. The dude just drew phenomenally well, and at every turn, even when I had hand traps and everything, he had the cards to counter and make his board, and I couldn't play. So that one, I lost that one swiftly 2-0. It was a very bad game for me. Round 7, I played Altergeist. He took Game 1 because he had all the background. I just couldn't see my outs. Game 2, Tornado Dragon and Twin Twisters helped me clear all his background, just make my plays. And Game 3, he kind of bricked, and he had a bunch of back row, but again I had Twin Twisters, Pancratops, and I was able to clear out the back row and take over the game. Round 8, I played another Salamangreat mirror match. This one wasn't so grindy. It was a 2-0. I went first with a die roll, had everything to make full board and put Dweller on board. My opponent couldn't do anything. Game 2, my opponent went first. He made his board, but then I had Super Poly, was able to clear out his board and go for game. Final round, round 9, I played against another Orcust player. This time was a pure Orcust. My opponent, he made his full combo, but I opened up Twin Twister, so I got rid of 1 Fog Blade and his Babel. He brought Dengrisu out just to, have board presence, but I was able to wipe out his board and end on a Dweller, and my opponent couldn't play back from there. Game 2, he went first again. This time I didn't have the outs to his board. And Game 3, I went first, made Dweller, and set Super Poly, and then even when he tried to make some type of board happen, I had Super Poly to get rid of his monsters, and that was it. After standings, I finished 18th place, so I got my invite to nationals, even though I already had one from OTS, but it is what it is. I had a good time, as I said previously, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna play Salamangreat for Nats. I'm gonna, test Orcus. Orcus looks like a good deck. Strike is still strong. Thunder Dragon strong. So I'm gonna, test out the different decks while I have time and see what I'm gonna play. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It helps my channel to grow, and make sure that you see my videos when they come up. And that's all. Peace.